Saint-Pierre was the capital. And in 1902, it was one of the major harbors, one of the trading centers of the Caribbean. And this is what it looked like. You can see all the ships in anchor. It had a population of about 28,000 or so. Mount Pelee, which you can see in the background here, right there, was starting to give signs that it wanted to erupt. It was smoking, and you could see it tilting a little bit. But it was time for the governor's election, and the governor had an option. He could either get reelected, or if he evacuated the city because of the impending eruption that everybody knew was coming, he'd never get everybody back together of his constituents to elect him, and he'd lose the election. So guess what he chose to do? No evacuation. Mount Pelee erupted, and a Nuit Ardente came rushing down the side of the mountain, right through the center of town. You can see where the eruption occurred, and then Nuit Ardente came right down through there. This is what the town looked like afterwards. There's only one confirmed survivor.
Is it him?
No. But it is kind of ironic because the guy that survived because he was in the dungeon. He was underground, and he was in the dungeon because he was to be executed the next day for murder. And because he was protected by the dungeon, he got a little burned, but he survived. And of course, all the records of the trial and everything burned up. The evidence was gone, so they had no choice but to set him free. The whole town of 28,000 perished. He was the only survivor. There's another guy that said he survived, but he said, well, I was just sitting on the steps by my back door, and I saw this Nuit Ardente come down through the backyard, and it's kind of like, oh yeah, right, you would have survived that. So nobody believed him. But this guy definitely passed the test. And he ended up spending most of his life as a member of the Barnum and Bailey Circus. And at that time, circuses had a sideshow where the freaks were kept. And he was kept as one of those freaks. Political correctness of the day, not so high. And he was kind of on display as the sole survivor. So yeah, disasters can be interesting. Okay. See you all on Thursday.